Hello, this is Voice Gone to Hell, and today we are going to be talking about some content from the Thrawn novel, which is incredibly good, and specifically the Batonn Uprising. Now, Batonn was a planet close to a lot of insurgent activity. It was close to Lothal, Samoon, and Danash, which were all part of a major imperial military, I'm not going to say takeover, but purge of insurgents in the area. Such admirals as Admiral Kinshara, Admiral Durrell, and of course, because it's in the Thrawn book, Admiral Thrawn took part in the activation of the codes that this operation required. Now, Thrawn was originally supposed to take Batonn, and specifically an island known as Scrim Island, which had a shield generator and several ion and turbo laser weapons, although the turbo laser weapons were thought ineffective. It was originally an Imperial outpost, but insurgents were able to take the outpost and take several hundred hostages, including civilian contractors. They then uploaded the shields and started switching around the cathrods, which are the powering centers of every ion cannon, so that the Empire didn't know which ones were operational and which ones weren't. They also faked power down the turbo lasers, so that the Empire thought that they were inoperable, and that the rebels were basically going in only with ion weapons. The Empire then asked Thrawn to, of course, head the assault on Scrim Island due to his previous successes, and Thrawn accepted, but a rivaling admiral, Admiral Durrell, said no, and spearheaded the assault himself. Thrawn took the liberty of watching Durrell's ships get ripped apart by the rebel insurgencies as the ion weapon annihilated the flagship shields, and then the concealed turbo lasers on the planet below bombarded the ISD into submission. Durrell's fleet was heavily damaged and put out of commission for much of the rest of this operation. Now, Thrawn goes on another mission to try and track down the insurgent known as Night Swan, who is a super genius that he's been obsessed with for some time now, and it leads him to several different sectors. And finally, he arrives back on Batonn, finding that he is now in charge of the main operation. He creates a plan to take the island, and starts maneuvering his ships around his main ISD, his cruisers. And they plunge forward deeper and deeper and deeper into the atmosphere, because the closer you get to a target, the more powerful a weapon is in the Star Wars universe. So they started descending lower into the atmosphere, until they finally got right above the island. So all of the cruisers were just taking the ion shots, so none of the ion shots could get through to the ISD. So the ISD's weapons were fully operational, and the cruisers split apart, and instead of targeting the shielded island, which Durrell had already tried, and as we saw before, failed, he decided to instead target the ocean around the island, and caused massive tsunamis with turbo laser fire that rained down on the shield generator and seeped through it, killing a few of the gunners. The rebels then surrendered and turned down the shield generator, handing over the hostages, and Scrim Island was again won for the Empire. Now, the next move that they had to make on Batonn was not an easy one, as it was to take a massive mining complex near an important city on the planet. Now, Thrawn's tactics were wavery at best, but the ISB Colonel Yularen said that it would be a good idea if one of his men, known as Gurdry, infiltrated the mining facility and blew up the shield generator that was surrounding it, as well as some of the heavy weapon caches on the planet. Now, Governor Price of Lothal had business to do on the planet itself, her parents were there, for example, and she did not want her parents getting caught in the Insurgent blast zone. So her main goal was to get her parents off planet, but she decided she would quote-unquote help Gudry blow up the shield generator. They landed on the planet. Governor Price was able to find her parents, and she sent Gudry on a mission to blow up the shield generator and the heavy weapon caches, while she told her parents to pack and get ready to leave the planet. Now, this is when things get interesting, because Gudry runs back and finds her parents packing, and he knows that she's a traitor. She kills Gudry dead in his tracks with a blaster bolt to the head, aimed by his own weapon. This is the equivalent of killing a CIA agent. It's not good. Luckily, she made sure the Empire had no idea it was her. She was very smart about how she did things. She got her parents away, and she was able to bring her parents to Imperial lines and tell all the Imperials that they got separated from the ISB agent Gudry. Thankfully, Gudry was able to plant explosives before he died, and ISB command triggered the explosive, destroying the shield generator. But Governor Price had something else to do beforehand, and she did something truly horrific, which is told ISB to, instead of blowing up the shield generator first, blow up the heavy weapon caches. And that's exactly what they did. And when the caches exploded, it sent a shockwave of firestorm spreading across the entire city, bouncing back and forth within the shield generator's walls, killing everyone inside, including Night Swan. Thrawn and Night Swan had a conversation just before this point about how Night Swan should join the Chiss Ascendancy, or Thrawn's original government that he worked for. He had military experience before the Empire. Now, Night Swan refused and perished along with the rest of his family, friends, loved ones, etc. The insurgency on Batonn was effectively wiped out due to Thrawn and ultimately Governor Price's actions. And the destruction of this insurgency would lead to Grand Admiral Thrawn's promotion to Grand Admiral. Before, he was just an admiral. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been enjoyable. If you want me to get back to my usual content, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And please tell me if you like this song. I just made it and I think it's awesome. Okay? As always, enjoy.